Okay. So we'll start with the introduction and some housekeeping, followed up with a panel discussion between me and our guest today. We'll also show a quick demonstration of Anaplan platform, the technology that is a partner of our webinar today. And then we will finish with a short question and answer session, giving you the ability to get some more interaction with our guest today. Okay, so let's start with the screen. Everyone is switched on mute. You can ask the questions at any time. Please put them into the questions panel, and we will try to answer the questions towards the end. If we're gonna run out of time, we will type the answers and distribute to everyone who registered. So we'll answer all your questions. Okay. So my name is Paweł Kowalski. I'm a co-founder and owner of Profitability, a consulting company helping businesses with connected planning. For the last decade, we focused mainly on Anaplan technology. That is a leading solution for connected planning, a cloud-based platform, very flexible, powerful, and user-friendly. We'll have a demonstration of that platform later in the session. The reason I mentioned this technology is because our guest, Latoszek, the Director of Finance and IT at Savencia, has used that very technology to tackle the issues that we're going to talk about today: profitability and planning in the changing market conditions. Pleasure to have you on this webinar. Thank you for joining, and looking forward to a great webinar.
Thank you so much for the invitation. Great to be here with you today.
Very good. So Anna, tell us more about Savencia Poland, and maybe later a bit about the challenges you had.
Yes, sure. So Savencia in Poland is part of international dairy company. We are operating all over the world. In Poland, we have two entities, Mleczarnia Turek and Pasłęk. Just to give you a short context, we are operating in both retail and food service market. We have two factories and more than 100 SKUs for each of the entities, and more than 100 clients for each of the entity. With some, I would say, typical structure of such group. So we have export internal and external and national sales also.
Right. And I think that presents a typical setup of consumer products goods company, where you have a number of products grouped into some product groups. And you're selling through various channels to multiple customers. And that presents this analytical problem of how do you plan that? How do you measure that you not overserve some customers, especially with some kind of marketing elements and trade marketing support? Like profitability is definitely a key issue there, right?
Yes, extremely. Now in such very dynamic times we have from 2020, I would say.
Brilliant. So let's expand on these challenges then that you had, and I think I like the way you divided them into the business challenges and structural, more kind of operating ones. Yeah, talk us through them, please.
Okay. So before we decided on Anaplan technology to support our financial processes in our business, we operated with the old system, previous one. And we noticed structural and business challenges. I will focus first on structural. So first of all, our controlling system was quite outdated. So we needed to work on Excel uploaded to the system and Excel extracted from the system with some reports and data. So I would say it quite typical for controlling.
A lot of Excel.
Yes, Pavel, everywhere. Exactly. But at the same time, the biggest challenge was lack of flexibility, especially as you mentioned before, in the difficult, dynamic crisis times. We needed a solution to be able to prepare what if scenario, to make a budget, to make estimation, quick estimation. Not only all the time with the same methodology, so Excel in and Excel out. At the same time,
I think on the flexibility, if I may, I think that is the key, right? Because we
yes.
see a lot of other clients also have some system in place, but actually the end users escape to Excel in the end. They are given a system, but that is not flexible. They need to do something that maybe ad hoc becomes more regular, but they still this process escapes to Excel because of lack of the flexibility of those tools, right?
Yes, exactly. And we had exactly the same situation. On top of that, our previous system was not able to deal with enough detailed number of SKUs and clients. So we needed to group the clients to have P&L per product and per client. And unfortunately, our basis and our fundamentals, so the month closing of the financial data took a lot of time and effort every month. So having in mind lack of people in finance, having in mind that usually during the dynamic times, people from financial teams are exposed to even more work than usually with all ad hocs. So additionally, we needed to find a way to reduce workload in our team. But it was structural. What is important to mention for sure is business. So I would say the title of our webinar today. Our biggest challenge was to react to market changes as soon as possible, to react to the inflation factors, and we needed to have a data, not to take the decision just by feeling. So it was our challenge. And what is important, when we implemented a plan, it was exactly in the year when Poland was forced to the highest inflation. So thanks to this tool, we were able to be the first dairy producer to announce our price increase. Thanks to that, we catch up the right moment to be profitable in such very dynamic situation on the
interesting
market.
point, because with some of the discussions with other CFOs in CPG industry, I'm often raising this topic of, what's the problem? Inflation goes up, your materials cost goes up, you're just going to increase your prices that you sell. But actually, I think it's important, the timing, that they made me realize that actually, if you get the timing wrong, it has a lot of implications in terms of your competition, but also your cash flow, because you've been too late with making this quite bold decision, right? I mean, you've made quite a bold decision to be the first one on the market to increase the prices, and others have followed, right? I think it's very powerful tool to have in hand to actually navigate in these difficult times, right?
Yes, and Anaplan was able to answer all these challenges, both structural and business, in our case.
So let's talk more about how you solved it. Yeah, so we've got this pretty busy slide here. So let's talk our audience through. I think from maybe I give a bit of a left to right. So we've got in the middle the Anaplan platform, and we deep dive into it in the detail. And that there's a lot of happening there. that is for the controlling team and the business users. But you need to bring data to it first, right? And you source your data from your ERP system, from HR system, because this is the main data sources you needed. And you brought this to the Anaplan platform in a dynamic, automatic way through API. Talk us more about what happened inside of Anaplan.
Yes, so when we decided on Anaplan as our controlling tool, our dream, I would say, was to have one source of truth. And we have such end game, because as you, Paweł, mentioned, we take the data from transactional system, HR system, so all the data there are the key for us, and then all the algorithm, all the changes, all the ideas how to manage different versions are in Anaplan. On one side we have month closing there. So as I said before, it took us a lot of days and workload to have the good quality closing every month. Now for controlling, it's 1 day to have all the data with all the reports to all our business partners. So we have the possible reports online available. So it is very important.
So you've got all your actuals. You had plans because we come to that. But
yes, no Excels, no mails with reports, just access to Anaplan for our business partners. So it was the biggest change for us. The second one was allocation of the data. So to have the best decisions for profitability, we need to be sure that we have the most updated allocation drivers. So inside of month closing and planning, we have a good fundamentals for allocation drivers. And we have the planning. So the beauty of Anaplan, this powerfulness of Anaplan, we can plan our P&L top down, bottom up, during 1 hour, during some days, with business partners, without business partners. So we have a lot of possibilities. So this is exactly the beauty of flexibility we wanted to have. To use Anaplan to be our tool. So we don't have any Excel, as you said before, no need for Excel models. So if you can imagine the life of finance without Excel, it can be.
it may be scary for some of our audience. And that's what we see with other customers as well, right? The shift in the kind of adoption from letting go the Excel, a tool that I know very well. And it's great, right? Let's face it. It's a great productivity tool, but I think it's great personal productivity tool. So it's okay if you take the data, do some analysis. But then if you work in an environment when there's a lot of people that have to contribute to that very place, run scenarios, try to run scenarios on our clients. 20 to 100 spreadsheets, it becomes a nightmare and very long process. And by the time you have to make a decision and you need information, the opportunity is gone because you were too slow to respond. So I think with what I'm hearing is from this solution, you're now able to run scenarios very quickly and support this business decision, right?
Yes, and what is important to mention also is that we forgot about finance budgets or finance estimations, because thanks to that everybody can interact with Anaplan from our business partners, and we can do it in parallel. We changed the way of working, how we prepare different financial equations. So at the end, the budget estimation or scenario is not responsibility only of finance team, but we as a company feel responsible for the data we have. Yeah. So it is for us the biggest value added at the end.
That is the ownership of planning, isn't it? It's very often I've worked in business and in finance. I remember the days where either finance was pulling the plans from me or I was chasing business to give me the plans. It always was a painful exercise, right? I think and what we see with clients that adopted the ANA plan, this becomes much easier. Value added. The business sees the value in it. That it helps them, and therefore it's shifting the responsibility and ownership away from finance to the where it should be in the business for the plans.
Yes, exactly. And finalizing just the description of this chart, it's worth to add also that thanks to Anaplan, we have automatic extracts to our transfer price documentation. So also for local needs, for accounting needs, not only controlling. And group consolidated reporting, because we are part of a big dairy group, and we have the, I would say, quite challenging reporting in terms of the details. So thanks to Anaplan, we have just one click to have all the outputs ready for other departments. So it's also
in the layout that is needed, right? There's no further transformation needed to it.
It helped us a lot in our daily life.
Brilliant. No, thank you. And I think, if we stay on the topic of how it helped you, let's move on to benefits and kind of summarize for our audience. We've categorized them into business value, operational efficiency, and people. Let's talk our audience through this. Let's start with business value. Mm-hmm. What did it change for them? If we can kind of expand on that, I think we started talking about it already, right?
Yes, exactly. So as you mentioned before, first of all, we changed the way of working. So business partners are involved. They understand what is in finance because they are part of the whole process. Yes, this is. Let's underline that Anaplan is very user friendly. So not only for people from finance, but for business partners, you can connect from your laptops, from your smartphone. So it depends on you. We got reliable profitability analysis because thanks to this allocation drivers, thanks to this data hub with all the checks we introduced, now we are sure that what we are presenting, so profit and loss account by product, by client, we believe in it. And based on that, we take the business decisions, yes, about the contract with some clients or stop of the contract with some clients, for example, or stop of the...
It's important to point, I think we see, we work with profitability solution, and Profit End comes from that, where we did it for a few decades now in various tools, and that trust in this is important, and you can get this through showing that you did the validation of the inputs, and you have a traceability as well within the tool, how the things is allocated, right?
Yes.
So it sounds like you've done
extremely important. Yes, exactly. Thanks to that, everybody feel comfortable with taking the decision. Yes, so
and it is on a lower level of detail than you had before, right? Because the performance of the platform gives you this ability to do it on the kind of SKU client and channel. You don't have to group it anymore, I understand, right?
Exactly. We enriched even the channel's perspective of regions. So even more detailed than before we had having this in our context. What is also important, the biggest value added was planning. This is the beauty of Anaplan, because we can do it very quickly, or we can do it in very detailed way. It's extremely flexible, so we can run one scenario with what will happen if our main ingredients will go up with its price. So in our case, it's milk. So we
I'll show that in the demo later.
Exactly, Pavel. So this is this was very important for us. So not only to prepare the financial budget estimation or rolling forecast, but only to avoid manual modeling with just one or two factors, just to check how it would be impacted our profitability. So
because you have all the recipes, right, in the system uploaded down to the material level. So then when you change the price of one material, it kind of flashes through this bill of material, right? And and then recalculate in a flash.
The same with the prices, the same with inflation on fuel, for example, etc. So with salaries, with the hypothesis about the salary increase following the inflation. So all these things we have in one tool. No need to find any offline models anymore. So it was about the business values, but if we go to operational efficiency, so as we said several times, more people are engaged. And this is the beauty, that finance are not the doers of the files, but we are coordinators. We challenge the business, we discuss, because we have time for that. Before it was not possible. So we increased also collaboration with our business partners. They know that thanks to this tool, we have full transparency of the assumptions. So we work based on transparency between us also, and we have one source of truth. So thanks to that, we take care about our transactional system, because all the possible mistakes, human mistakes or transactional mistakes, are visible in our data hub, where we have more than 200 checks. And then we come back to transactional system and correct for the month closing. Thanks to that, we are sure that what we have in our systems map are the best quality data.
Yeah. So you can almost improving the quality of the data at the source, right? And so improving the process as well. Yeah.
Exactly, because when you improve the quality of the actual data, you improve the quality of your estimations and planning, because they are basing on that. And some additional values, like we reduced the full closing. I said before that for controlling is 1 day. For accounting 3 days we have, so together we have 4. Before we had 7, because the last 3 were focused on the generating a lot of reports in Excel, but not only in Excel, in Access, in MS SQL.
So for controlling it reduced from 3 to 1. Yeah.
Yes, and it is a huge change, because when we accept the result, in 5 minutes after that, we can send the information to all our business partners. We are ready with the full analysis. Enjoy the report.
And you can enjoy it on your laptop, but also on mobile devices. You said you did yourself, found it very useful.
Oh yeah, especially during meetings outside the office or negotiations, or even to impress your general manager when he asks you the question in the evening. So you are always prepared. Exactly.
Brilliant, love it. And we have this last, more soft benefit, right? About people.
Yes, that's true. We are living now in the world that from the finance people, I think we expect more and more additional profiles, like being a business partner, being ESG coordinator in a moment, being co-piloting during difficult times with profitability. But when we should do it if we don't have time, because we focus on the month closing and estimating. So thanks to Anaplan, we reduced these fundamentals by 40%. So our workload was reduced by 40% on regular activities, and thanks to that, we have now much more time. I don't need to even tell you that this is the competency of the new world. So to be able to use new technologies, especially looking at the market that we don't have so many finance people available anymore due to different reasons. But I would share with you one feedback that was the most valuable for me. Was the feedback from my head of controlling, that she told me that, what did you do to me, Anna? I never decide to leave the company because I don't want to work with Excel anymore.
There you go. Brilliant. And we do hear that from other customers as well, right? That it becomes that highly analytical talent becomes more and more difficult to get, and you do want to give these people also a modern environment to work in, yeah, and that is yeah, a positive thing to keep them or attract them, yeah, if you show them that you are working with the latest tools, they don't have to fight with SQL or other old technologies like that. So, yeah, right. So tell us more about what is next. Yeah, so you've achieved a lot, but you do have plans for more, right?
Of course. So maybe I will just add short context. When we decided on Anaplan for FP&A, we were not sure how we will end. So in that case, we wanted to prepare this model for finance only. But when we discovered how powerful Anaplan is and how easily you can connect different elements of your business, especially this that you need to plan. So for sure we want to develop our model. After we did P&L, we added cash flow. Now we are thinking about sales targeting, about supply chain volume forecast, and in one moment of time, investment planning. But it's just the beginning of our adventure with Anaplan, I believe, because it's also perfect for HR planning that we incorporated in our model, and it works perfectly. So I received the feedbacks not only from finance but from HR, from sales, from marketing, that they like to work in the way we are now working on different estimations.
And we do see that as well. Yeah, once it usually typically the journey of Anaplan starts with finance, but then soon the other departments, and especially in operations, they can see the power of it, and it spreads like a virus, I would say. Yeah, that you almost have to control the internal demand for it. Yeah, yeah, naturally it fits into sales, where there's again a lot of Excel for them. And yeah, what's the point of having finance being on the latest platform, but sales still sitting with their versions of Excel, right? It makes sense to connect them, and then naturally, yeah, let's do this for supply chain. And yeah, investment project planning. This links very well to your product innovation, to your capex, right? So
exactly.
Super connected. Yeah, brilliant. Thank you, Anna. Let's give our audience a bit of a context of that then in the platform. I think a lot of participants are waiting for actually to see the tool, because we made a build up of and set all those high expectations. So let me just quickly kind of explain what we're going to show. Because of the limited time we have, we're going to just focus on a few functionalities, show you how the reporting looks like. We'll show example of some dashboards and some various analysis, how we can bring the actual data, how this looks, to put it in kind of context on what happened in Savencia. We'll show a bit how you can do some playing with volumes and price, and also scenarios. We'll play that very scenario of one ingredient cost coming up, seeing what effect it has throughout all the results. Good. So let me prepare and switch my screen. Anna, can you see my screen okay? If you do, the audience will do as well.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so what I'm showing you is one of the apps. We call them apps. It's an application for Anaplan. So this is how the end user is seeing and interacting with the model. Behind there is easy modeling interface, very user friendly, looks like in terms of formulas, looks like an Excel. Because of the limited time of this very session, we're not going to deep dive into that, but please do reach out to us if you want to have a longer session so we can explore different avenues. Like I said, time is limited. We're going to show a few screens and few examples. So the model I have is for a global company, helping this company with the process of planning, budgeting, and forecasting. And what we see is an example of the dashboard. So this is kind of a reporting how this could look like on a set of data for FY21, which is in this model an example where we operate and plan. And this company produces some products and provides some services. We'll focus on kind of planning some products in a minute. But we can see that there's a lot of data here that can be presented in the form of table, in the form of graph. For the context, as I said, it's a global company. You can look at different kind of regions. And I click here, we'll refresh and synchronize across all the. I also have a switch to North America. I also have the list of versions, so I could look at actuals in separation thing. Loading November actuals, December, what if scenarios, and compare with the variance. So that's something we're going to be utilizing in the next dashboards. And just to put it in the context, what I'm showing you here as well is just an inspiration. Typical tools like that show them what's the art of possible. But mainly we focus what is your process, what is your calculation and reporting you provide. We compare, contrast, and choose the best solution for our clients. So we kind of we build this fully tailored for the clients, but we don't have to invent everything from scratch. We've got a ready templates that we can apply, so that the build is very fast. Right. So continuing on reporting, let's look at how the variance analysis could look like, and comparing the data that we've loaded. So I'm going to switch to one of the single months. The view I have is now limited to one of the kind of cost centers, where I'm kind of taking now a role of cost center manager. I still have my versions where I can contrast and compare, and I have a graphical representation of the variance. I've got a typical table here with a list of our main cost categories, actuals versus forecast. We can also, if there is FX variance, we can do that as well. Various options available here to filter and search, decide what we want to see. We can maximize any table for better interaction. Some pivoting available as well that I can show later. So a lot of interaction. So basically meaning that you don't need Excel anymore. I think especially for in the case of process of comparing variance, commentaries is also available, so we can put some commentaries against any line to give it more explanation here, and that is kind of holding the system and track any change in here by any user is fully audit trail. And what we can see in here, we can very easy click on any line. It will refresh the context of any other cards on here. We can look into quite significant variance of R&D and start drilling into we can see that the into a transaction to have a meaningful comparison and give a better commentary to this. And it's completely up to us how we want to structure, how many columns, what do we need in order for our calculations or for reporting to decide. Typically in the from GL, what we bring is a transaction date that we've mapped months, the amounts, cost centers, the profit centers. We're bringing sales or gross margin information, and that will be to include customer and channel and product as well. Good. Let's show you now how we do the planning. So I'm going to move to more kind of top line planning. Let's see how we could plan sales and revenue. What we see on the top in our selectors now. I'm a bit deeper into our hierarchy, so we can support multiple levels of the organizational hierarchy. Let's look at kind of northeast. We have now also a list of our products and confectionery products, and we have our versions again. So that kind of follows through the entire model. And I have a small table here that we can set to now to the context of the full year. Because what I want to do is compare across the year for a given product my different scenarios against the main KPIs of the gross margin. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to play in that what if scenario on this particular products on pricing and on volume. So this is the first thing I'm going to do. So I've got my prices loaded from the last year, so that can come as an additional import from our ERP. I can, for the planning scenario, I can play on the growth percentage or the override, and the final price is fed and spread and applied to the given year. What we can see here, we've got actuals loaded up to March, so we've got this kind of switchover concept, and only the open months for the future are open. We can totally manage how many periods we want to give the users to be able to open and be able to edit the data for the future. So I'm going to just make a change in the pricing. And what we should see is that the price to update for FY21 and also some kind of variance change. So let's make it 15%. As expected, the price is updated for FY21, and as a result, we see that the difference on this particular product has increased. And additionally, what we could do, we can increase some volume slightly in some given months, and that would generate additional variance. And because it flashes through all the engine, it's not only affecting number of units, but it is multiplying to the price. It's also reflecting the changes in the higher cost of sales. So it's giving us already flashed. It has flashed the calculation through the entire engine. And that's something that every owner of the region can do at the same time. So the tool is built for this collaboration, working at the same time. At the same time, a person looking at the entire numbers can see in real time the changes they've made. So super powerful. Okay, so we've looked at how we can play with the price and volumes. And there's plenty of features I could show you that help with that, but yeah, again, I invite you to a dedicated session where we can really deep dive and show you everything that is possible. Given the time we have, I'm just gonna have to move to start showing you a bit of expanding that scenario with this very story that Anna mentioned, where how do we now plan and reflect the changes in some ingredients and and do the and run it through the scenario, and really quickly see the results. So what we see here is material usage per unit. So I'm still on. I can see this for different products. So kind of the composition of or the consumption of this material can be different, can be in different units as well, and can be changed for scenario. Can create a new version of this product and play with the recipe and see what the impact is. Playing scenarios of following the trends in the consumer, moving away from unhealthy fats to some vegetable oils and so on. So we can play all those kind of scenarios to follow the consumer trends. But what we wanted to kind of show you is, let's say price of sugar will go up from June. The current price of this ingredient is 10, so let's increase it to 15. And I'm just gonna use kind of copy and paste and flush this through the rest of the months. And what that did is immediately created a variance and created a impact analysis of this very change. If you want to just look at the change of the cost of sales for this change of ingredient, you can see that the milk part has been impacted the most by this change. Brings to the conclusion that this is the ingredient, the product that has consumed has a lot of sugar in its content. Also taking into account the volumes of this product that we're selling and producing, is making this very impactful. So you can see this this information straight away. You can compare this metric for any other KPI and analyze this data quite quickly. So it's all connected, all together. So I've shown you, how we can do the reporting, how we can bring the actual data, how this looks in the system. We've shown you how we can do the planning of the revenue, playing with the prices and the volumes, utilizing the historical information, and also we played a bit with the recipe and cost of the materials. Like I said, there's plenty of other areas I can show you. I invite you to reach out to us for a dedicated session to show you more. That brings to the end the presentation of the platform. I think we've got a couple of minutes for questions, and I think we I'll have a look if we've got any. There's a question around the data integration. Anna, do you want to expand a bit more how you connected the data?
Yes, with pleasure.
Which way?
So between our transactional system and Anaplan, we used API connection. And thanks to that, we don't need to use any flat files, no Excel. We don't download, we don't upload. We have just automatic transfer of the data during the closing. And if we need to change something in transactional system, because in the data hub we see some errors, so we can come back to the accounting team with the request to update, to correct, and then we just run the transfers again. It's extremely comfortable.
Brilliant. And that's it's only one method. Yeah. And so you can schedule it. You can run it on demand, right? And it's fairly easy to set up. I think there are various options to connect the data to a plan, utilizing a range of ETL tools like Informatica, Delbumi, SnapLogic, and a couple others. with cloud data providers. So Microsoft and Amazon. How long it took to implement for you?
Excuse me, can you repeat?
How long the implementation took at Savencia?
So 6 months with the whole scope for FP&A. So building month closing with this automatic transfer, building all the allocation drivers, so the whole logic behind the closing, and then focusing on the planning, including HR planning and all the P&L lines. So we started in September to be able to use it for the new year.
I think we can say we see that also other implementations to our clients. Yeah, you can build typically something in 12 weeks of fairly not if it's not too complex. Yeah, to a more complex or multiple modules like you had. Yeah, it can take up to 6 months. So very aligned across the other implementations we also did with other clients. We've came to the end. If there's more questions, we will answer them, like I said, and distribute to you. Thank you, Anna.
Thank you so much.
Great to have you and share the story. Thank you, everyone who joined us today. Hope you have learned a lot from Anna's story, and yeah, reach out to us if you would like to learn more. Thank you.
See you.